Like thunder. We've even had a few claps of thunder here in downtown Cleveland, and I know we are rumbling in some other parts of the area. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford. Hope you're having a great Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, great to be with you again. Thanks so much for choosing What's New. Good Wednesday afternoon to you, Betsy, and of course to everyone watching at home.
We are going to get started right over with Matt Wentz because we do have severe thunderstorm and tornado watches active for Northeast Ohio. I know it looks very murky out there right now. We did, as I mentioned, have a clap of thunder there on the left side of the screen. You can see it is raining. That's that kind of fog looking, whereas on the right side of the screen you can see clear through to various shades of gray in the clouds beyond. We do have heavy downpours. We have the possibility of hail and, as mentioned, some gusty winds. Matt's keeping an eye on the radar for us. Matt?
Yeah, for sure. These are fast movers today too, Bets. That jet stream is screaming up above us, so these are going to move in and out quickly as we go throughout the afternoon and the rest of the evening. So big picture, we've got a tornado watch out for our southern tier counties. That includes you down in the Canton area, down towards Wayne County, Holmes, Tuscarawas County. That goes till 10. Out towards the west, Erie here on Richland County, we're under severe thunderstorm watch until 9. Notice no watch out towards our northern counties. Doesn't mean we can't have severe weather, but the biggest likelihood is down towards the south. So we're dealing with some storms right now. Pretty good storms heading through Medina, heading into southern Cuyahoga County. We've had some heavy rain and lightning with that. That's moving northeast into the greater Cleveland area. Watching the storm near Worcester as well. And we have a tornado warning storm just south of the viewing area. We're keeping an eye on that. That'll head outside the viewing area. We've got an evening to get through, though. A line well off towards the west has had tornado warnings with it. That's what we'll be tracking in. We'll talk impacts and timing coming up in the forecast. Jay.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Now on your feed at 5. For the second time since taking office, Governor Mike DeWine gave his State of the State address. He recognized the resolve Ohioans have shown over the past 2 years dealing with the pandemic, and facing re-election this year, he touted his own investments and accomplishments, citing lower taxes, growing manufacturing, and support for law enforcement. But it wasn't such a rosy picture as seen by the Democrats, who criticized the governor's inaction on gun control measures, especially in the wake of the Dayton shooting. And they pointed out one topic notably left out of the governor's speech: redistricting.
Now is the time to seize our Ohio moment. Our economy is moving. Our state budget is on firm footing. Our bond rating is the highest it's been since 1979.
Democrats have stood up for the vast majority of Ohioans who overwhelmingly voted for fair maps. Fair districts mean better representation, which means better, more responsive government by and for the people.
The governor also looked ahead, sharing plans to invest in resources to address issues such as mental and behavioral health in Ohio, as well as addiction, and investments in the Appalachian region.
There is some new technology that will be coming to Cuyahoga County to prevent wrong-way crashes. Amanda Abraham shares with us how it will work and why transportation experts say it's an important tool to have on highways.
This happened on Interstate 90 last year.
It's very scary to see it happen.
Amanda McFarland with the Ohio Department of Transportation says wrong-way crashes are rare, but are often deadly.
Wrong-way crashes make up about 0.01% of all crashes in the state of Ohio. That is a very small percentage, but they are 40% more likely to be deadly. So while rare, they often have very tragic results.
ODOT says that's why it's important to add another layer of protection. They plan to install a wrong-way detection system at 25 locations across the 22-mile stretch of Interstate 71 and 90 between West 150th and East 140th.
If a driver makes a mistake and they do go the wrong way down the ramp, there is a detector that will sense them and begin rapidly flashing signs and lights that say wrong way.
Then the system takes a short video clip and sends it to law enforcement. It's already set up in Cincinnati, where they've seen success.
The system in Cincinnati has been in place for over 2 years now, and they've had 50 verified wrong-way entrances onto ramps, but nearly all of them turned around before entering the highway. And so we are looking forward to having that success here in Cleveland.
The project is expected to cost around $1.8 million. ODOT says the new system is set to be in place by the end of 2023.
Amanda, do you know how ODOT determined the locations where these systems will be placed?
Yeah, they say that they looked at data to see where there is a higher number of wrong way incidents, along with alcohol-related crashes. So that's how they compiled that list of 25 areas where those detection systems will be in place. And we've got that list up at WKYC.com, Betsy.
I'm sure there's a lot of folks who commute day and night that will be checking that list. All right, Amanda, thanks so much. Jay?
Well, Betsy, tonight's a big night for Cleveland sports. It's the 22nd Greater Cleveland Sports Awards, and they are set to begin here very shortly. Showcasing the best in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio sports. A change of venue for this year's event, which is back in person for the first time in 2 years. Jim Donovan is live at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. That's the site of tonight's big show. Hey, Jim.
Hello, Jay. What a great idea to have Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse be the new venue for the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. This is always, as you just pointed out, a very special night on the calendar. And it was always great coming downtown to the great ballroom at the Renaissance. But here at the Fieldhouse, it is going to be great. The cocktail reception will be held out here in the atrium. And then they have the inner bowl set up for all of the presentations tonight. And they are fast and furious coming in here tonight to join this, because last year, of course, we did this virtually, but we're back in person. Ready to go, ready to hand out all the big awards to the top pro athlete, college athletes, male and female, high school athletes, male and female, the top moment of the calendar year, the Courage Award, and then the Lifetime Achievement Award. And let's stop right there. It is with great pleasure that we announce that former Indians pitcher CC Sabathia will take center stage tonight as the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. If you're like me, you just were thrilled every time he went out to the mound, starting as a teenager and just dominating in the American League and in the American League Central and for the Indians. Of course, he went on and won a World Series with the New York Yankees, and I said, that must have been great. He said, it was, but I have to tell you, I have always considered myself a Clevelander.
I'm excited to be back. I always considered Cleveland home. I kind of grew up there. The four of my kids were born there. So it's going to be exciting to come back. My mom's coming, my wife's coming. My godmom's going to be with me. So it should make for some great memories, some good storytelling, and I'm looking forward to it. I did see that you have won the award before. I'm in good company, so that's great.
I'm going to give you a copy of my speech. You can take a look at it, all right? And, of course, that speech is available in the National Archives. We'll see if CC gets a hold of that. Jay, I have to tell you, the first time I met CC Sabathia, and it's worth telling, the Indians were turning down in Winter Haven, Florida. I was talking with Mark Shapiro, who was the head of the farm system at that point, and he said, I'm going to bring this kid out that we just drafted. He's only a teenager. He's going to be the best. And out of this dingy minor league locker room walks this huge kid, 18-year-old CC Sabathia, who could have played college football at UCLA or Hawaii, but I think he made the right choice pitching with the Indians.
I think he made the right choice too, Jimmy, and it's great that he's going to be there. It's great that the event is back in person, because this is always one of the highlights of the sports year. I was thinking earlier today about the awkwardness that could have been. Baker Mayfield is on his way out of town, and we know that sometimes, these awards can go to members of the Cleveland Browns. That would have been an awkward situation if that was happening tonight.
Yeah, it really would have, because if you go back a few years ago, after Baker's rookie year, he was really the big guest at the Sports Awards that particular year, and the crowd was in a frenzy that he was there, that we had found our quarterback of the future, and everything was looking up. And how a few interceptions and a big trade changes life, doesn't it?
Yeah, as the saying goes, life comes at you fast, Jimmy. And I think we've seen that just over the last calendar year. Jim Donovan live from the site of the Cleveland Sports Awards, which will start here in about 20 minutes with the festivities. The main event begins later this evening. Jimmy, we'll see you out there a little bit later tonight.
Thanks, Jay.
Coming up next on What's New, what's in the color? January Keaton will share a special story about the power of a crayon.
And Britney Spears seems to be a bit of a trailblazer when it comes to another child star. Also, mired in a long-time conservatorship. Kiara Cotton has that story and other Hollywood headlines ahead in Pop Break.
All right, we're keeping a close eye on that radar, Matt. How do things look for the evening?
Yeah, boy, pretty good cell coming into downtown Cleveland right now. Nothing severe with it, but we're going to get a good downpour here. We're already seeing that in the south side. The rest of the evening, we've got these scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of them will be on the strong to severe side. We're keeping a close eye on it, but if you do have plans to head on out, make sure you have your WKYC app on hand with that live tracking radar. We'll be back to give you the latest and timing of these storms coming up.
Welcome back to What's New. On the heels of cases like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, with crowds taking to the streets to protest racism and hate and children of every color witnessing all of this, something beautiful was created.
That's right. A local educator decided to put pen to paper to teach children to find their color and soar. January Keaton has tonight's Education Station.
Your crayon creates the love. Let's draw a beautiful masterpiece together.
No justice! No peace!
In 2020, at the height of nationwide protests, Cleveland educator Michael Williams wrote a book.
One word poured after the other. My thoughts were thinking about children and thinking about what they've seen. And I didn't want brown children to feel like they were being hated by the color of their skin. There's the bell, and it's time to go home.
The Brown Crayon is about a child who gets a school assignment that changes his life.
Our teacher gave us a chance to pick a crayon from the bag. And without looking, he grabs a crayon, and that's the report that you have to write on. He ends up with the color brown. Once he looks it up, he finds out about the richness of the color brown, how many things are actually brown. Then he gets an epiphany, realizing that he is exactly the same color as the crayon. I realized the crayon I'd been holding was me and my feelings.
Which gives the child a whole new perspective on the richness of himself.
It helped him realize that he wasn't down here and everybody was up here. So how did the poem turn out? And he goes back to class with the support, proud to be just like this crayon.
Williams, born and raised in Garfield Heights and an educator with Cleveland schools for 23 years, tours all over Northeast Ohio reading The Brown Crayon to children. Since being published in August of last year, the book has received major attention, now offered in libraries all over Greater Cleveland and in big box stores like Target and Walmart.
It's growing to like, I'm sitting at home like, This cannot be real.
But despite the newfound notoriety, Williams remains humble, just hoping his 36-page contribution to children's literature will reach maybe one child and teach them that their value is more than skin deep.
I wanted children to look at their dark skins or whatever skin color they were and smile.
January Keaton.
Thank you, Brown Crayon, for helping me see things clearer.
3 News.
That is a beautiful story. All the colors. Got to get them in there. Well, we have a lot of colors happening on the radar this afternoon. All kinds of colors. Not the ones we usually like to see either.
Yeah, it looks pretty serious over there. I'm looking at the map behind you, Matt. It's all lit up.
Yeah, it's lit up. Nothing severe right now in Northeast Ohio. That's the good news. These are just good old gully washers. Whenever you see the bright colors on a radar like this, it's called reflectivity. When you see the red, that indicates how heavy the rain is. It doesn't indicate how severe it is. So what we're seeing are some heavier downpours, especially coming into Holmes County right now. You see the greater Cleveland area picking up some decent rain on the eastern side. We've got some lightning with that as well. These are all sub-severe. That's the good news. Let's keep it there. Out towards Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights, Mayfield Heights along 271 picking up heavy rain. This stuff's in and out of here fast, folks. 45 to 50 mile per hour movement on these. We've got another cell down towards Medina right now. This will head up into Cuyahoga County in the next 15 minutes. That stretches down towards Wadsworth. Some flashes of lightning with that as well. Wayne County, you're drying out for right now. You've had a couple cells. This is the biggest one right now heading into southern Holmes County. We've got more instability down here, so we're going to keep a close eye on this near the Walnut Creek area, eventually heading up towards Sugar Creek. Some heavy rain and some lightning. We're keeping a real close eye on this radar. You've seen this a lot. This is the velocity. There's quite a bit of shear in the atmosphere today, which is the churning of wind with heights. Thunderstorms rotate a lot. That's okay, but if we can get enough instability, some of these may produce a little bit of rotation with us, and that we've had one such cell just outside of the viewing in this one. The tornado warning has been allowed to be canceled. That's some good news. This is kind of falling apart, but Jefferson over towards Belmont County had a tornado warning. That will stay east of us. That's some good news. Where's the instability? It's greatest down towards the south. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has issued a tornado watch till 10 for our southern counties. Does not include Akron, but does Canton. Out towards the west, we've got a severe thunderstorm watch. That's for more of a damaging wind threat throughout the evening, but we've seen some action with that as well. So bigger picture, where do we go from here rest of the evening? This is the same low pressure we've had 4 days ago across the country. Remember, it was a slow mover across the Great Lakes. We've got to watch this back line associated with the cold front right here. That'll push into the western half of the viewing area over the next hour. We'll track it east. That's the one that could produce perhaps some damaging wind, maybe a quick spin up with that. In terms of instability, we can measure the atmospheric energy up above us, or the buoyancy of the atmosphere, and we've been waiting on it all day. It hasn't really been that unstable, but you're seeing how it's pushing in with that line. So I think our instability will be there. Another way we measure that's with dew point. That's the amount of moisture in the air that we can create severe weather with, and dew points are kind of borderline. We're in the mid-50s right now, so there's a little humidity out there, but I do think it'll be enough to trigger perhaps a couple damaging wind events as this line pushes in. Temperatures, not all that warm outside. We're in the 60s, especially down to the south. That's where the greatest threat is. No severe weather threat, though, up towards Ashtabula County, Lake County. It's just too cool up there with very little instability. Bigger picture, I think this is just amazing. Look at this little ribbon of warmth that we have coming in. Here's your severe threat. Meanwhile, it's colder right now down towards southern areas of Missouri than it is here as this low wraps in this cool air. This cool air will be in here tonight. That will quickly end our severe threat, probably around the 9 or 10 o'clock hour as it looks right now. Hour by hour forecast brought to you by National Design Mart. There's your storms heading from west to east. They're out of here by 10. Tonight we've settled into mostly cloudy skies. It'll be notably cooler and completely stable tomorrow. Temperatures struggling to get into the 50s as it looks right now. Just kind of a raw day. Perhaps a couple showers around as well. And I wanted to show you Friday as well. We get another push from the north. Oh, yeah, we've got that coming back in our forecast. Little flake action. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecasts were in the 40s Friday and Saturday. Sunday, we're talking even colder with some flakes around, but eventually we'll warm things up next week. But looking with quite a bit of precip around here. Looks like every day we have at least a chance of some rain or snow after we get through tonight's severe weather.
Yeah. Lots to watch for here in the next 48 hours.
Right. I saw a 23 on that, Matt.
Yeah,
you didn't. We'll bump that up tomorrow.
Still March. It's still March.
I know.
It's all good. All right, Matt, thanks. We'll check in with you in just a little bit. Coming up next for us with Pop Break, the harrowing story of Miley Cyrus and a flight gone bad on the way to a music festival. Now, doesn't that sound like the start of a country song? We'll have more coming up.
It might be a new one. And our Worth the Watch is pretty funny. Wait until you see what has these grown young men on the run.
Hey, Matt. Hi, Matt. What's going on?
Right now, it's time for your daily pop break with our entertainment reporter, Kira Cotton.
And Kara, you have some good news about actress Amanda Bynes.
Hey, Jay and Betsy, I sure do. It seems like if you have a conservatorship and you want out of it, this is the year to take action. Yesterday, a judge terminated the conservatorship for former child actor Amanda Bynes. The now 35-year-old has been a conservatee since 2013, a period of her life that she describes as dark due to substance abuse. After 9 years with her father as trustee and her mother handling her medical and personal affairs, Bynes' request to dissolve her conservatorship was fully supported by both of her parents. In a statement, she said, "In the last several years, I have been working hard to improve my health so that I can live and work independently, and I will continue to prioritize my well-being in this next chapter. We wish her the best of luck." And from one child star to the next, Miley Cyrus is making headlines today after her flight had to make an emergency landing after being struck by lightning. The 29-year-old singer was headed to Paraguay to headline a festival when the plane became caught in an unexpected storm. Miley posted a video on Instagram showing a glimpse of the storm and the damage that occurred to the plane. Along with those images, Miley did confirm that herself, her crew, band, and family and friends were all safe. However, they couldn't continue the trip and had to miss the festival. And we've got good news for fans of HBO Max's Sex and the City reboot. And just like that, has been renewed for a second season. Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis, who also executive produced, will return to the show in their respective roles. An EP for the show said, "I am delighted and excited to tell more stories about these vibrant, bold characters." And just like that, our sex life is back. A date for crews to return to production has not yet been decided. And Jay and Betsy, we've got an update on Rachel Zegler, the West Side Story star that didn't get invited to the Oscars. Well, strings got pulled, and now she's not only invited, but she'll also be presenting.
And that wrong was quickly righted.
Okay, so you want to come? Fine, we're going to put you to work too.
At least, you know what? At least she gets to be there, and deservingly so.
Yeah, she's excited about that, I'm sure.
Thanks,
Kara,
Steve.
thank you.
All right, so our Worth the Watch made me chuckle when I saw it this morning. I certainly hope you appreciate it too. These young men made a funny video where they're clearly running scared from something. But
Wait,
did you see what they're running from
what
there?
is that?
Watch closely, because the object chases them back the other way.
What?
It's
What
a
is
baby
it?
duckling.
No, it is
Yes,
not.
it is.
It's the fastest little baby duck I've ever seen.
It's a little chick.
Dang.
Is that not hilarious? I thought when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, it's going to be a snake. It's going to be a big spider.
I thought it was a mouse, but no, a little baby duck.
Baby
Aw.
duck. Grown men. running from something that big.
Is this in a dorm by chance?
I'm sure it is. Sure looks like it, doesn't it?
They tend to have a little bit of fun sometimes in those dorms.
Just a little bit. Sometimes too much fun.
So I've heard.
Yeah, I know you have. Still ahead in the second half hour of What's New, Monica Robbins is going to be joining What's New. She'll tell us what is new when it comes to kids under 5 getting the Moderna vaccine.
Plus, well. Wait until you hear which former member of the Browns is open to the idea of a possible return. Jay, you are smiling.
Can you say shocker? Plus, it's day 2 of our Heroes with Heart series. Lindsey Buckingham did a terrific job with yesterday's story. She's got another one that I'll warn you in advance, you may need a tissue for.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And we begin with What's New at 5:30. 3 things you need to know. A 6-week-old puppy was found on the side of the road near Garfield Heights, wrapped in a pillowcase inside of a duffel bag. She was taken to Mötley Crüe Rescue, where they brought her to Greystone Veterinary Hospital. The dog had a swollen muzzle, exposed ribs, and trauma to her face. She's requiring around-the-clock care and a constant IV drip of medication and nutrition. Sadly, experts say we'll probably never learn who did this.
Little baby. Well, we are keeping a very close eye on the radar this afternoon and this evening. We have a tornado watch in some of the area and a severe thunderstorm watch in our western sections of our area. So Erie, Huron, and Richland counties are under the severe thunderstorm watch till 9. Tornado watch in effect till 10 for Ashland, Wayne, Holmes, Stark, Tuscarawas, and Carroll counties. All of us will have passing storms tonight. The big question is, will they be spinning or will they just produce straight line winds if they do any damage? We'll be, of course, keeping a close eye on that.
And Betsy, we're now 1 month into the war in Ukraine, and President Biden has landed in Europe late this afternoon for tomorrow's emergency NATO summit there. That's where Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected to plead for more help to defend his country. A U.S. military official says Russia has lost 10% of its combat power in Ukraine and now faces new allegations of war crimes. Meanwhile, Western leaders are set to unveil another round of sanctions against Russia. The U.S. could announce a permanent increase in the number of troops in NATO countries that are near Ukraine. And with that, we welcome you back for the second half hour of What's New with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday afternoon as we're sort of dodging storms and raindrops, and it's just kind of nasty out there.
So far, just gully washers, as Matt just said not too long ago. You may hear a few booms too, but we're keeping a very close eye on the radar. You can see I'm all teched up here, so I have all kinds of radar and analysis happening as we continue on to our top talker. Parents with young kids are still waiting for a COVID vaccine. Today, they're one step closer to getting one. Moderna announced that its vaccine produced a strong immune response for kids 6 months to 6 years old.
Yeah, the clinical trials included 6,900 kids. The majority of the side effects were mild to moderate, and there were no reports of myocarditis. That's when that middle layer of the heart gets inflamed. The company says it will submit the data to the FDA and other regulators in the coming weeks.
Our senior health correspondent Monica Robbins joins us now. And last month, we saw Pfizer postpone its request for its vaccine for kids. So now what are the experts saying about this one?
Yeah, well, Pfizer had to switch to a 3-dose regimen after learning 2 were not effective in kids. So we should know their results in the next couple of weeks. Now today, Moderna says its 2-dose regimen, which is a quarter of the adult dose, is 44% effective in babies up to age 2 and 38% effective in preschoolers. Now, we know that's not perfect, but it should offer some protection for little ones who typically don't get hit with COVID that hard. And if the FDA and CDC sign off, 18 million kids under age 6 might be able to get vaccinated by summer.
Wow. So Moderna also says it's requesting authorization for a 4th shot, this to go on with the super booster, or the booster, I guess is what they were calling it. What can you tell us about this? Will everyone need that?
You know, yeah, okay, let's start with Pfizer. So Pfizer is asking for a 4th dose for everybody 65 and over. Moderna's request is much more broad, and it would allow medical providers to determine who's at higher risk and who should get a 4th dose. Now, this is all as COVID continues to mutate, so additional doses may be needed because we know vaccines like natural infection antibodies wane over time. At this point, though, only 30% of Ohioans received their booster, so if you are at risk, please talk to your doctor about getting boosted. And remember, these vaccines were never intended to prevent infection. They are meant to reduce hospitalization and death. And we've had 4.5 billion people around the world vaccinated, and the safety data is showing that they are safe, they are effective, and they're doing what they were intended to do.
Yeah, the hospitalization numbers are just very stark. I mean, the vast majority of people who are hospitalized are the unvaccinated.
Exactly. And same thing with the death rate, too. You know, the majority of people who die from it.
Could the rollout of the vaccine been handled differently? Because I read a piece about a week ago where that was the thesis of the piece, was that question. Because their statement, their conclusion was that perhaps too many Americans either misunderstood the message, or just the message wasn't properly received or delivered, rather, that most of us thought, oh, well, once I get the vaccine, I can't get the virus. Was that Americans assuming that, or was that message just not properly delivered in the rollout?
I think it's a combination of both from my perspective. You know, I think we've been trying to tell people that there is no vaccine that is meant really to prevent you from getting something. We wish they would, but the purpose of them is to prevent you from getting very sick.
Right.
And I think I agree. From this top down, I mean, we all know that the communication was not where it should have been. So yes, I do think that there was some miscommunication, but I also think a lot of people kept hearing, oh, there's going to be a vaccine and that means I'm never going to get COVID, and that's not what these vaccines were ever intended for. But nobody wants to hear that. That's not the happy news. So
no, but it keeps you alive.
It keeps you alive,
and that's ultimately what we're all looking for.
And especially for people who are at risk, and if you have somebody in your house who may be at risk, it's not about you. Do it for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great point. Thanks so much, Monica.
Sure.
Still ahead for us, A lot of people celebrating today. It's National Puppy Day.
Oh my goodness.
You can't help but feel happy when you see puppies. So we're going to be boosting your mood with adorable puppy pictures in Cleveland, clicking in Cleveland.
I just want to hug all of those animals. Then our Heroes with Heart series continues. We're going to introduce you to a NICU nurse who helped one little patient make a mighty comeback and the positive impact she has on everyone around her. It's an incredible story. But first, Matt's back with another peek at the forecast.
Yeah, we're not quite done yet. We've got scattered showers and downpours around the area right now. Some embedded thunder. You can see where we are right now on the map. But we've got a line out towards the west. We're going to be tracking that through. That's really the end of our severe threat once that gets through. But we've got about another 3 hours or so, depending on where you are. We'll take you through the radars and that extended forecast coming up on the other side of the break.
All right, Matt, we are sitting here analyzing radar from all sides of the studio at this hour. We just have some good old-fashioned rain that is coming down, but, you know, we still have to keep a very close eye on everything.
Yeah, definitely springtime outside, Betsy, for sure. You know, and even looking at that shot behind you, looking very spring shotty as with some of the darker clouds coming in, and you've got a little growth through the clouds as well. Good news, folks, nothing severe right now. We have no active warnings. We haven't really had any across our viewing area, just outside of the area we have, but we're still keeping an eye on. We're not out of the woods yet. Tornado watch for our southern tier of counties. This includes the Canton area down towards New Philadelphia, Dover, Millersburg, all the way over towards Ashland. That goes till 10. We've got severe thunderstorm watch out towards the west. We'll keep an eye on both those areas. Just because you're off towards the north doesn't mean we can't squeak out a severe storm, but the instability is really reserved for our areas down to the south. So these things have been moving real quickly. We've been, trying to keep the radar camera up with these right now. This is by and large our strongest cell. It's towing the line with a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's a potent one heading through Jackson right now. Massillon, you're about done with this. This is pushing up into southern areas of Summit County. This will get up into the just south of the Portage Lakes area over towards the Brimfield, Mogador area. You can see we've got lots of heavy rain falling, but also within this, there's some pretty decent hail as well. In addition to lightning, again, that's moving north around 45. Out towards the north areas of Lake County, you just had a decent cell. Some lightning over towards Fairport Harbor. That's heading outbound out over Lake Erie right now. We're watching yet our third downpour heading through Cuyahoga County now, stretching just north of Parma, getting over towards Shaker Heights. That's heading northward as well. But as we look at the big picture in terms of the wind, this is what we're keeping a really close eye on to see if anything squirrely happens with these. And do we have a lot of shear in the atmosphere? So that's a lot of twists as you go up into the atmosphere. Sometimes you can get too much shear, and I think that's really what we've got going on right now. There's so much twisting of wind with height that these updrafts aren't able to develop to produce robust thunderstorms. They get kind of sheared apart. So hopefully we can keep it that way. Again, damaging wind gusts would be the biggest threat with these as they continue to move through with our jet stream we've got up above. And out towards the west, here we are in Sandusky, just west of that. This is a line we're going to keep an eye on. Toledo just got hit pretty hard with some thunder and lightning and heavy rain, and that's the final edge that I'm going to be keeping an eye on the rest of the evening here. The swirl continues. This thing's been with us for 4 days now centered over Chicago. On the leading edge of that, we've got this little ribbon of instability out through Ohio. Once this back edge clears us, which will be probably 8, 9, 10 o'clock from west to east, our severe weather threat is over. This is the atmospheric energy. You notice how we have enough to produce some severe weather, especially our southern areas. And in terms of dew point, this is that muggy meter we haven't showed in a while. We've got a little mugginess down to the south. Meanwhile, off towards the north and east, that's why there's no watch there. There's virtually no instability for you. And temperatures in the 50s, that's not going to do it. We've got temperatures in the 60s, much warmer down to the south. The little ribbon of warmth is going to be short-lived. It moves through this evening. We get colder air on the backside. We stay there. Your national Zymart hour-by-hour forecast shows it staying all the way through Friday at this point. Some scattered showers tomorrow. We bring in some flakes on the weekend as this low continues to wind up. Another system comes into it this weekend. It's going to remain unsettled across the Great Lakes. And yeah, we're going to have some flakes flying around here Saturday and Sunday. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Along with that comes a temperature dropper back into the 30s. Just makes us appreciate the 40s and 50s. And that's what we'll be doing by Tuesday and Wednesday. Jay?
Yeah, Matt, it does that. Thank you very much. Right now, it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Stephanie, a very good Wednesday afternoon to you.
Good Wednesday to you, Jay, and everyone at home. We get to start down in my hometown today because the headliner for this year's concert for Legends in Canton has been announced. Journey will play the show during the Pro Football Hall of Fame's Enshrinement Week this year. That takes place at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The concert is at 8 p.m. on Saturday, August 6th, and it closes out the week-long Enshrinement Festival. There are so many cool events, you guys, so come on down to Canton. Tickets for the concert go on sale Friday, April 1st at 10 a.m. Now, speaking of football, NFL free agency period is a wild time and anything can happen, even what some Browns fans are calling for, which is for Odell Beckham Jr. to return to Cleveland. What does OBJ say? He said, LOL, that's an interesting one. But the idea got a lot of traction online even after he hurt his ACL again, by the way, while winning the Super Bowl ring with the Los Angeles Rams last month. Now, the Browns have said they are interested, though, in that possibility, and they're also interested in re-signing Jarvis Landry. Like always, we will keep you posted on what happens. And it is National Puppy Day, and we have lots of photos of yours to show off, so let's get right to it. First, we have these cute Weimaraners from Tracy in Hiram Township. Look at all those little troublemakers. Casey from Christine in Maple Heights is right here, also looking very mischievous. And here's Butters from Parma, adorable. Check out this next little bundle of joy from Lori in Brunswick. And this next cutie coming up is from Marlene Rushnock. That looks like trouble right there to me. And here is a Christmas puppy from Tracy LeBeau. You see the little lights in the background behind that cute little face. And Cindy Kish is here with her fur baby all snuggled up. They look adorable together. And this trio is from Mary Kint. We had so many puppy photos come in. This was the best part of my day, honestly. And Jay and Betsy, them climbing out of that gate. I remember when Winston was a puppy, he was a straight up Houdini. He never met a baby gate he could not climb out of.
Kidding.
Lots of those photos like that
Yeah,
today.
it's always fun to set up a camera and leave the room to see exactly how they get out of some of these. It's nothing short of incredible. Thank you to our viewers for all those pics. Made my day. Beautiful animals. Thanks, Steph.
Next up for us, our Surprises for Heroes with Heart continues. We'll introduce you to an extraordinary doctor who works with the tiniest of patients and why her team feels that she deserves to be recognized.
Then this is a live look at artwork on display at a local mall, and it's all to honor Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. We'll explain that in our Show Us Something Good. We'll be right back.
I got you. Okay, cool. All right, come over here. I'm gonna show you. Okay, cool. Can you?
This week, we are honoring healthcare heroes who are going above and beyond. And of course, they are doing this in a time during the pandemic when they are already tasked to the max.
Yeah, tonight we're sharing the story of Alyssa Zeitler. She's a young NICU nurse at UH's Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital, whose dedication and care helped save a premature baby's life. Here's Lindsay Buckingham.
The sounds of the NICU triggering. Worried parents wondering when or if their babies get to leave here.
We take care of the smallest little patients. Some of them now are 22 weeks that are under a pound, all the way up to your full-term babies that have some complex medical needs.
It's also a place of hope, because here at University Hospital's Rainbow Babies and Children's NICU, health heroes like Alyssa Zeitler help the tiniest patients in the hospital make the mightiest comebacks.
I signed up to be Arlo's primary. So primary nursing is when I'm working, I have Arlo to kind of keep that continuity of care and be a familiar face for the family.
Meet Arlo, born at 24 weeks, and life for him not promised.
And it was found that he had brain bleeds that were pretty severe. There was days and nights where we didn't know if he was going to survive through them. So on top of them being scared and also with like how small he was, I just wanted to make sure that they were getting physical touch with him and like bonding with him.
His young parents needed a calming voice, a voice like Alyssa's.
She would comfort us and let us vent to her, and she would reassure us that everything's gonna be okay.
Being that kind of NICU nurse in the middle of a pandemic takes focus, grit, and compassion. Just ask Alyssa's mentor, Renee Grabsky.
It is hard on the body because sometimes you're standing by that isolate for your whole shift, which is usually 8 to 12 hours. And you come out of there and your back is sore, your feet are killing you, your shoulders hurt, your brain is exhausted from doing all the thinking and trying to figure things out. She's very, very helpful. She is really, really good with the families.
Families Alyssa will never forget.
How much has caring for Arlo and being there for his family meant to you?
Oh my gosh, so much. Like thinking about it, like makes me tear up. Because like you're so strong in those situations, and like you don't realize like how big of an impact you're really making. And now he smiles and he coos, and he recognizes my voice. Like I wasn't a stranger to him, which like means so much.
Arlo got his mighty comeback. He's home now and thriving, thanks to his NICU angel, Alyssa. And his parents, thank you will never be enough.
Thank you, Alyssa, for everything that you've done for me, his dad, and Arlo especially. You're the best primary that we could have had.
Alyssa, thank you for being a hero with heart.
And we are so honored to have the hero with us herself, Alyssa Zeitler. Alyssa, seeing your peers behind us, knowing what you accomplished with caring for Arlo, how are you feeling right now?
Overwhelmed. Super happy that I have all my peers here to support me. I'm just overjoyed.
Can you ladies just give yourselves a round of applause right now? And Alyssa, you are all wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. What was the experience like, Alyssa, caring for Arlo?
Again, overwhelming. The family was amazing. He was the sweetest. Again, it was touch and go. We didn't know, and now he's smiling and he's cooing and he's at home, and the family still stays in contact. So I see pictures of him growing up, and it's such an honor.
Well, I want to tell you, it's an honor to be standing next to you. And in addition to 3 News saying thank you, your peers, Arlo's family, there was a few other companies that heard about what you did, and they thought, gosh, she's been working hard. We want to maybe send her to take a little trip, maybe somewhere warm. So Spirit Airlines has gifting you 2 round-trip tickets to anywhere in the world where they fly. Thank you so much. You so deserve it. How do you feel right now?
So loved.
You are loved. You are so loved. Okay, but here's the deal. We didn't want to leave your wonderful colleagues empty-handed. We know how hard you work. You are on your feet all day. You need to stay hydrated. So there's a company called Simple Modern, and they are gifting you 140 water bottles. Okay? And also, Poppy Scrubs, they're gifting you all a pair of compression socks. And you get to pick out whatever color you want, but there's more. Sometimes you get a little hungry on those shifts. So Panera is gifting you a $500 gift card so you can get many lunches. Ladies, thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Jay and Betsy, these are true heroes behind us. They not only have to care for those little tiny babies, they have to keep those families encouraged, all amidst a global pandemic. I'm truly honored to be standing in front of them right now.
Wow. And to have the support of the community around them, they have to know that there are so many people on the outside of that hospital that just love and appreciate them so much too.
It's such a selfless job.
Absolutely. And
go ahead, Lindsay.
It truly is, just because, as I mentioned, you know, in Alyssa's case, she had never cared for a baby as tiny as Arlo. So she was going in new, and she absolutely put her head down. She was dedicated to the mission. Alyssa, you are in part responsible for saving his life. Really, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Jay and Betsy, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's all smiles here. It's all love.
Good. My favorite part visually was the picture of Arlo looking at Alyssa.
Yeah.
And you could, if the baby could speak, you know he would be saying to Alyssa, Thank you. I love you. And my other favorite part was hearing Alyssa get a little emotional when she said, Arlo recognizes my voice.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Just incredible.
That is so, absolutely, it's so gratifying. It's so gratifying for her because she was with him the entire time and she saw him through to the end.
Yeah.
Truly wonderful, guys.
Special bond for life, for sure.
Yeah.
Arlo, thanks you. We thank you. Alyssa, wonderful job. And Lindsay, you too. Terrific story.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, one more time, lady.
Wow. Told you it was going to get dusty in here.
Good.
Very emotional. All right. Next, some pretty unique artwork is on display at a local mall. We're going to show it to you live, and we'll tell you why it's so important.
Then on 3 News at 6, a new law that begins today will allow cameras inside residents' rooms in nursing homes. Hear from the man behind the legislation and why he feels it's so important for this level of transparency.
Check, check, check. You got me? I'm at the BAM. I just don't know my marker.
BAM. You'll be on camera 1.
Mm-hmm. What marker?
There's an X that says Jay.
Yep, I gotcha.
I'm at the turntable too.
Ah. Yes, I do.
I love your jacket, by the way. It's super pretty. Whew. I gotcha. Hey, got you.
Hey, David. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. Testing. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright has died.
Yeah, mic check. Today's show is something good. It comes from Lake County.
Child refugee from Nazi.
Today's show is something good comes from Lake County Board of Developmental Disabilities. A group of artists with disabilities are showing off their work at the Great Lakes Mall in Menor. This is a live look now. You can see 20 pieces of art are on display. The Art Celebration is a month-long event between the county and the mall. It highlights Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Some beautiful things there.
Oh, the lighthouse picture there. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, we're out of time.
Yep.
But we're back tomorrow at 5 for another edition of What's New. We hope to see you then.
3 News at 6 with Russ and Laura starts now.
Now at 6, severe weather watch. A line of thunderstorms is moving into northeast Ohio tonight. Betsy is tracking the latest. Also, Ohio strong.
The state of our amazing state is strong.
After a 2-year break from the pandemic, Governor DeWine returns to his yearly State of the State address. Puppy abuse. A dog left for dead needs a miracle tonight as investigators try to find who left her clinging to life. And wrong way fix.
If a driver makes a mistake and they do go the wrong way down the ramp, there is a detector that will sense them and begin rapidly flashing signs and lights that say wrong way.
After several accidents on Interstates 90 and 71, ODOT makes a bold move to stop wrong way crashes.
Live from WKYC Studios, this is 3 News at 6 with Russ Mitchell and Laura Queso.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for being with us.
Tonight, our top story, the ever-changing weather conditions.
A line of strong storms is moving into our area. Watches and warnings are up tonight. The chief is here tracking it all. Betsy, what can you tell us?
Yeah, you can see how scattered those showers and storms are. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about, as well as the tornado watch and severe thunderstorm watch. So the tornado watch goes till 10 o'clock. That is for Ashland, Wayne, Stark, Holmes, Tuscarawas, and Carroll counties. And then the severe thunderstorm watch goes till 9 o'clock for Erie, Huron, and Richland counties. We did get that new severe thunderstorm warning that you just saw there. I'm going to go ahead and stop the clock here. And you can see there's several thunderstorms that are moving from southwest to northeast. We also have some very heavy rain that's coming down in some of those gully washers. Actually, I'm going to go back to that right now, and we're going to kind of zoom in just a little bit here. I do want to get a closer look at where that thunderstorm is right now that we are talking about, that is down in the Richland County area. It is this one that is clear down way to the south. It may be one of those things that you go, why is that thing the warning that's going to be clear up into southern portions of Richland County and even over toward the Loudonville area? These storms are moving very quickly, some 50, 60 miles per hour, and as they continue to move to the northeast, they are really going to pack a punch. This one looks to have a little bit of some hail potential to it. Doesn't have a lot of lightning showing up on it. We've been watching the velocity, the wind data in all of this, and you can see there is a little bit of a wind surge that is showing up here. So this is all inbound wind that will be coming along with this. Other than that, right now we are severe clear, but we do have some heavy rain we'll be talking about. We're also going to talk about the storm potential the rest of the evening, and more importantly, when it's out of here. It's all ahead of the cold air that gets here this weekend. Laura?
All right, Betsy, thanks. We'll see you a bit later.
We have a developing story to tell you about along the Lake Erie shoreline.
A body was found floating in the water near Burke Lakefront Airport off of North Marginal Road downtown. Cleveland police say they have not determined the person's age or gender, and the discovery was made about 3:30 this afternoon.
For only the second time since he's held the office, Governor DeWine gave his State of the State address today. His bottom line message, quote, "Ohio, this is our moment," end quote. Isabel Lawrence breaks it down.
My fellow Ohioans, 2 years ago at this time, we began our battle against an invisible and a deadly enemy.
A lot has happened since Governor Mike DeWine took office in 2019, including a global pandemic. The governor reflecting on investments and changes over the past years, touting Intel's $20 billion investment in the state, lowering taxes and growing high-tech manufacturing, and investing in public safety.
We're doubling down our support for law enforcement by giving them more resources.
DeWine painted a picture of a better future for Ohio, proposing a scholarship and mentorship program for children, an investment program in the Appalachia region, and enhanced resources for mental health.
I see an Ohio where mental illness is treated as a health issue, not as a crime.
DeWine is facing re-election and criticism from within his own party and across the aisle. Democrats critical of the governor's inaction on gun control measures in the wake of the Dayton shooting and violent crime in cities.
We know that gun violence is on the rise in many communities across Ohio, and what we see, the response that we have seen in this state house, only exacerbates that.
Noticeably missing from the governor's address, any mention of the map-making mess that threatens the Ohio primary in May. The governor, a member of the Ohio Redistricting Commission.
Leader Russo, have you gone anywhere where we haven't talked about redistricting?
No.
State of the state, we went there and we didn't talk about it. You know, I don't know why, because it's something that should have been on the plate today.
Another measure the governor is pursuing going forward, measures to reduce distracted driving and increase highway safety.
Okay, Isabel Lawrence in the newsroom. Thank you.
On this 1 month mark of the start of the war in Ukraine, NATO is estimating that 7,000 to 15,000 Russian soldiers have been killed. Meantime, President Joe Biden is en route to Europe at a critical moment for the war in Ukraine as Russia pummels cities with airstrikes and artillery. President Biden is looking at levying new sanctions against Russia when he meets with allies in Brussels on Thursday.
Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright has died. The child refugee from Nazi and then Soviet-dominated Eastern Europe was the first woman to hold the office. She also served as the nation's chief delegate to the UN before being picked as Secretary of State by President Clinton back in 1997. Her family says she died from cancer. Madeleine Albright was 84 years old. The third day of Supreme Court confirmation hearings for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson continues at this hour. It has been, at times, as contentious as yesterday, with Republican senators accusing Judge Brown Jackson of being soft on crime and Democratic senators accusing them of distorting her record. Yesterday's questioning lasted more than 13 hours.
A new level of transparency begins today in Ohio nursing homes. Cameras in residents' rooms. It's called Esther's Law, and it's been in the works for nearly a decade by a man who caught abuse firsthand with a hidden camera. Marissa Sines reports.
The cameras are not to catch abuse. The cameras are to stop abuse.
This video, surveilled by a hidden camera tucked away, is what fueled a fire under Steve Piskor. That's his mother, Esther, while she was living in the Metro Health nursing home.
We caught about 6 weeks of abuse.
Piskor's initiative to uncover his mother's abuse resulted in 2 aides jailed, another 3 fired, with 3 more disciplined.
It's something that, I've been fighting for 10 years, trying to get this law passed.
Wednesday, Ohio joined a handful of other states that will legally allow residents and their families to install cameras inside of the room.
We want the camera out in the open. We want everybody to see the camera.
The law requires residents to pay for and install the cameras themselves. There must be a sign present upon entering giving notice of their surveillance, and that consent must be given by any other resident in the room.
There's a little bit of apprehension since it is something new.
Pete Van Runkle, executive director of the Ohio Healthcare Association, says this concern comes from the Big Brother oversight, which also serves as a layer of accountability.
Knowing that you're going to be filmed or recorded, anyone who might be prone to doing something inappropriate, it would put them on notice. It prevents one incident. It's worth it.
After months on end of isolation as family or friends were banned from visiting nursing homes because of the pandemic, technology became an integral means of communication. For Esther, the Piskors, this is deeper.
The law should have been passed a long time ago. If I would have had this law, my mother would have never been abused. Hopefully this will help other families to stop it from happening.
Yeah, Van Runkle says there are some questions about what kind of cameras will be allowed, such as two-way communication cameras or solely surveillance cameras. Piskor says he's hoping to work with legislators to make some amendments to the law in the next General Assembly. Laura.
All right, Marissa Sines live for us tonight. Marissa, thank you.
It is a day that dog lovers across the country are celebrating. It is National Puppy Day. And while tons of cute pictures are all over social media, a local vet and animal rescue facility are hoping for a miracle after taking in an abused puppy. Emma Henderson has that story.
At just 6 weeks with a swollen muzzle, exposed ribs, a constant IV drip of medication and nutrition, Miracle is just that.
Little Miracle here was found on the side of the road in Garfield Heights area, found wrapped in a pillowcase inside of a duffel bag.
A family took her in, but soon realized how dire her condition was. So they turned her over to Motley Crew Rescue, and she was immediately brought to Greystone Veterinary Hospital, requiring round-the-clock care.
She has some trauma to her face. So far we have no visible broken bones, anything that we could see. So right now supportive care is our main mode of action right now.
Miracle's story points to two problems rescues are seeing constantly: people getting pets during the pandemic and not putting in the work to get them properly trained, and the difficulty of finding and prosecuting the humans who abuse dogs like Miracle and leave them for dead.
We'll probably never know who did this to her, unfortunately. Which sucks very bad. She deserves justice, for what has become of her. No animal should suffer like this.
I was able to talk to Muttley Crew about warning signs about getting your dog from a reputable place. As a rescue, they promote looking at rescuing first, but say reputable places will have vet records and immunization histories for the dogs, and they should be open and honest about where the puppies are born and raised before they come home. Russ?
Okay, Emma Henderson, thank you.
New hope on the horizon for parents of little ones. Moderna says its vaccine is effective in kids under 6. The company plans to ask the FDA for approval in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, doctors are sounding the alarm that even though our cases have gone down, more people need to get boosted to help prevent future outbreaks. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins is here now to explain all of this. Hi, Monica.
Hey, Laura. I'll start with Moderna's news first. So the company says its 2-dose regimen, that's a quarter of the adult dose, is 44% effective in kids under age 2 and 38% effective in those under 6. They'll apply to the FDA in a few weeks, and if approved, about 18 million kids under age 6 could get the vaccine, perhaps by summer. Moderna is also asking for a 4th dose to be approved as an additional booster. So far, just 30% of the population is boosted, and as the virus continues to mutate and vaccine and natural antibody protection fade, those boosters may be very important for those at risk.
If you're immunocompromised and have a chronic disease, you're much more likely to wind up in the hospital or potentially have a fatal outcome from the disease. And then I would certainly encourage family and loved ones who have those individuals in their households or as routine close contacts to vaccinate themselves too, so that they can keep their loved ones around and healthy as long as possible.
Now remember, these vaccines were never meant to prevent infection. Their purpose is to prevent severe disease that could lead to hospitalization and death. So 4.5 billion people around the world have been fully vaccinated, and the overwhelming data is showing these vaccines are still safe and effective and doing at what they were intended to do, even as this virus continues to mutate, Laura.
All right, same message that you've been spreading. Monica, thanks so much.
Sure.
New technology is coming to Cuyahoga County to prevent wrong-way crashes.
Manny Abraham shares with us how it will work and why transportation experts say it's an important tool to have on highways.
The Ohio Department of Transportation says wrong-way crashes are rare, but are often deadly.
Wrong-way crashes make up about 0.01% of all crashes in the state of Ohio. That is a very small percentage, but they are 40% more likely to be deadly.
ODOT says that's why it's important to add another layer of protection. They plan to install a wrong-way detection system at 25 locations across the 22-mile stretch of Interstate 71 and 90 between West 150th and East 140th.
If a driver makes a mistake and they do go the wrong way down the ramp, there is a detector that will sense them and begin rapidly flashing signs and lights that say wrong way.
Then the system takes a short video clip and sends it to law enforcement. It's already set up in Cincinnati, where ODOT says they've had 50 verified wrong-way entrances onto ramps, but nearly all of them turned around.
The project is expected to cost about $1.8 million. ODOT says the new system should be in place by the end of 2023. Russ.
All right, Manny Abraham, thanks. Coming up tonight, tornado aftermath. New scenes of the destruction near New Orleans from a powerful line of storms.
And honors and awards. We'll take you live to the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards, recognizing some of the biggest accomplishments in Cleveland sports. Jim Donovan, of course, is there live.
3 News at 6 is sponsored by Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
We have new information about that tornado that struck New Orleans last night. The funnel cloud stayed on the ground for nearly 10 minutes.
The tornado cut a 2-mile path of destruction and damage.
One person was killed in the storm, with many others injured. You can see damage to homes and businesses along the lower 9th Ward where that tornado hit. And by the way, that's the same place that was the epicenter of Hurricane Katrina. City leaders say it is a miracle that more were not hurt there. And after looking at those pictures, I certainly agree with that.
Agreed.
Hard not to. Wow. It is 6:16 right now. Betsy Clean, as spring or something like that continues here.
Something like that,
in
literally.
Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people see that video and they go, oh, a tornado in New Orleans, and then you hear, hey, we have a tornado watch. Woo, what's going on? And I think this is, where you kind of have to go, okay, they are in a little bit different part of the atmosphere than we are. We kind of have a squirrely situation setting up. They were in a much more dynamic environment, so much more heat and moisture to work with. That being said, we still have plenty of heat going on with temperatures in the 50s this time of the year. That's part and parcel with where we should be. Temperatures are going to hold steady through the evening, but we do have the scattered rain and thunder that we have going on. We do have some thunderstorms to talk about. Not a whole lot of lightning showing up at this point. We have had a few areas with some lightning, but out to the west, this is the more potent line of storms that will be sweeping through, and this is really kind of the one to watch. We have already seen a severe thunderstorm warning that is impacting southern portions of Richland County and Ashland County. That storm is just now starting to reach your area, so we kind of get a little bit closer here. Let me zoom in for you, and we'll track it as this thing is moving about 60 miles per hour. So these thunderstorms are really moving quick, and we have a ton of wind that's going to help to propel them. So let me get my little fan here, and we will track it out. Let's take it right out of the center of that, right up toward the Vermilion Township area, and there you see that we get into Gatton Rock and Perrysville and Charles Mill and Vermilion areas. So there is a lot of areas here that have some nice neighborhoods and some, little burgs that this could be passing through with some heavy rain, some high wind gust potential. And yeah, there is that possibility of some hail that's coming down in this too. And then farther to the east, this is where we're mostly dealing with just good old fashioned downpours at this point. But we do have the potential still to see an uptick in some of these. We've seen the possibility of some rotation as far as the atmospheric conditions go, but I don't see any evidence of rotation here in immediate northeast Ohio as of right now. There is drier air that is sitting just to the northeast of us, and as those rain and thunderstorm complexes and cells move northeast, they kind of dissipate a little bit. So we're really aiming our attention in areas west and south of Cleveland. You can see the rotation with this entire storm system. This is just incredible to see. And in the larger broad scale rotation, there's smaller areas of rotation. So this is a very complex system that's still going to take a couple days to get out of here in total. But once it does finally get out of here, it's not only going to take all of the energy that's feeding into these thunderstorms, that's this red zone that you see here, but it's also going to change the wind direction on us. So the broad scale wind flow across eastern parts of America are dominated by this storm system that is moving through our area right now. That's also important because it is moving a whole lot of air around. It's been moving the heat northward to get us toward the 60-degree mark today, but boy, it's really pulling some cold air southward, and that will be here as we head through the rest of the week and into the weekend. Here's your National Designer hour-by-hour forecast. Stop it at 8 o'clock. That line that is just now coming into our area should be over toward the state line area. We get a break from some of these thunderstorms, but we're not quite done yet with the rain. We still have some scattered rain chances as we head through the evening. It'll be gusty and blustery outside of where the rain and the rumbles are happening. By the time we hit midnight, temperatures down to about 50 or so. We'll hold on to mainly cloudy skies with some scattered showers from time to time to start the day tomorrow. And that may linger as we get into the afternoon, but these are going to be very few and far between. And I do think we are going to end up having maybe just more classified as spits and sprinkles than anything else. I know that's not the best way to classify it, but there you go. Union Home Mortgage forecast. There goes the heat. 50s tomorrow, 40s on Friday. Yes, there's a little snow chance as we head into the weekend too. By Sunday, Monday, temperatures not making it out of the mid-30s. Russ?
That's where there's something like that part of spring pops up. All right, Betsy, thanks. Coming up, the best Cleveland sports has to offer is on full display tonight at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards.
You're looking live inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the site of tonight's event. Jimmy is live next with what to expect.
seen her in 20 years.
How many years?
20 years probably.
How'd she look?
Good.
I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Sports Report is sponsored by the people-pleasing people at Sarah Auto Park in Akron.
Hello, everybody, from the atrium here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the new home of the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. First time that the event has been held here and away from the Renaissance in downtown. It's the 22nd annual event being played out here tonight, and it is just great to have it back in person after it was held virtually last year. Big crowd coming in here tonight. Bernie Kosar, a part of the festivities here tonight, and our Olympic gold medal winning pole vaulter from our hometown, Katie Najad, is back in town. A big thrill for her. She is presenting the High School Athlete of the Year.
These athletes are incredible, and it's cool to know that if you're not nominated, you still can have a wonderful career. If you are nominated, you're definitely already having a wonderful career and probably will continue to. So, but just to be here and to be chosen to present that award is really special.
The Lifetime Achievement Award belongs to Indians pitcher CC Sabathia with the Indians from 2001 to 2008, drafted by the Indians right at the top of the draft when they selected him as a teenager from the Bay Area.
I don't think, if I got drafted into a different organization, that things would have played out the way they did. For me, especially with all the troubles that I had, with the alcoholism and all of that stuff, going through that. Being in that organization and having that strong foundation and people that really care about you.
All right, the Pro Athlete of the Year award. What a star-studded category. Let's go through the nominees. We'll begin with the Cavaliers and their slick-shooting young guard, Darius Garland, all-star this year, averaging over 21 points per game. He is up for the Pro Athlete of the Year award. And then we go to the Guardians and the great Jose Ramirez, off the 36 home runs that he hit last year as an Indian, now coming in this year as a Guardian, made the All-Star game for the the third time last summer. And then finally to the football field, to the gridiron. We go to the great Myles Garrett with 16 sacks last season for the Browns. Myles Garrett, along with the other two, Garland and, of course, Jose Ramirez, up for the award Pro Athlete of the Year, which will be presented here tonight. Big news in the NFL, another day and another huge trade. You know that guy that nobody can catch up to, Tyreek Hill, the speedy wide receiver of the Kansas City Chiefs, no longer with the Chiefs. He's been traded away to the Miami Dolphins. He gets a $120 million contract with the Dolphins, and the Dolphins end up giving over to Kansas City 5 draft choices for Tyreek Hill. Boy, in a couple of weeks of big deals, that's another big one. All right, we're getting set. We'll see you at 7 here from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Russ and Laura.
All right, Jimmy, have fun. And thanks for watching. And as Jimmy said, he and Lena back at 7 o'clock for Front Row.
The NBC Nightly News is minutes away. Have a good one. We'll see you at 11.
President Joe Biden is on his way to Brussels tonight to meet with NATO allies. He announced today that he does believe there is a real threat that Russian President Vladimir Putin would use chemical weapons in Ukraine. After the NATO meeting, the president travels to Poland. Day 3 of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Republicans accused her of lenient federal sentencing as a judge, which she strongly denied. If confirmed, she'll be the first Black woman to serve on the nation's highest court. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine does work in children under 5, according to the company today.
Yes, I mean, it's been overwhelming and in the best way. Seeing the support from the city has been just a dream come true. It's what makes it so much fun, just seeing everybody get behind it and then getting to come to events like this and get to wear the jacket. It's pretty special.
My fellow Ohioans, 2 years ago at this time, we began our battle against an invisible
We're all thinking about getting our garden started. I'm here at Bay Branch Farm, a surprising farm here in the heart of the city. I'm going to tap my friends into showing us how to start some seeds at home. Annabelle, this is like, it's toasty in here almost. It's 40 degrees outside, but we're balmy in here.
Yeah, this is the magic of the greenhouse.
We know we do our peas in spring. We know we do our radish in spring. How do we know what to start inside and what to start out?
Many moons ago, and I'm down in Winter Haven at the Indian Street.
Front Row is sponsored by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
There are so many people in need in Northeast Ohio, and so many inspiring individuals and organizations working tirelessly to help. We think it's time to shed a light on these community champions and the great work they're doing. Starting next month.
Well, look who's back in Cleveland. CC Sabathia, the Lifetime Achievement Award winner at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. What does it feel like?
I started feeling very, very nauseous. I was like, okay, I'm done. Throwing it in the garbage instantly.
Other reported side effects of melanotan 2 include changes to moles, flushing, fatigue.
Primetime lineup is sponsored by Tower City Center. Tower City Center, shopping.
Thank you for watching Front Row. And
enjoying?
Oh, you asked? What do you say?
He's enjoying it, you know, just being around his wife and just doing what she says. Yada, yada, yada.
Hey, there's a woman that I know that used to work for the Browns, and she works here in Nashville. She got fired by the Browns. Unjustly. Okay. She was Dwight Clark's secretary. Wow. And she's been here for a long time. She told me the day after they got fired,
Yeah, I told yesterday was Jackman's first off day in 2 weeks. Yeah, they're trying to recoup some losses. Yeah. They're trying to recruit losses
from
pandemic.
last year?
Yeah. There was an event every day. It was either Cavs, Monsters, concert, this. Yeah. They had a Tool concert the other day. They had a Tool concert the other
That
day.
our bartender went to.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, it's 6:50. Did we go pretty early in this?
Yeah, right off the top.
Yeah, I think we're the lead. All right, Lena, lie. That's all we got time for.
Got it. The biggest event in the city every year.
Hey, Brooke, it's Sean. You got me? Awesome.
You want me to take the lights and all that down to the workroom?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Can you do a mic check?
Where's Kitty and Jet from? Olmsted Falls. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Arena Bowl. Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. Katie Najat.
Thank you. Yeah, might as well. I'll wheel my wagon to the other side.
So how's it going? You know, Will's last day is Sunday. William. Will you, Jack? Oh, nobody's talking to you, Google.
How can I help Will? Yo, what's up, Sarah? I was just kidding.
Oh, I forgot.
I thought you said a stronghold. It's like, what's a stronghold?
Excuse me?
Just take your stronghold and get out of here.
Excuse me?
Yeah, right. Manana. No, that's not it. Carrero. Correa. Okay. I told Amanda it makes a good cat meow. Go. It's like a cat in heat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Aw, wow, that really
Yes.
does sound like a cat. Who did that?
One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's curtain up on the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. Jimmy is live from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We'll check in with him on the who's who list of celebrities. Plus, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine gives the State of the State address, the first time he's delivered the address since March 2019 because of COVID. Our Isabel Lawrence breaks down his most notable moments. Spring is finally here. Are you thinking about yard work? Doug Tratner gives us some great gardening guidelines. And it's a one-on-one with former Indians pitcher CC Sabathia. Jimmy's been busy. Sabathia is the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. We'll have a conversation with the Indians great.
From the WKYC studios, this is Front Row.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. It's the Wednesday edition of Front Row, a special show tonight. We come to you live from the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Good to have you along. I'm Jim Donovan.
And I'm Lena Lai. Good to see you. Look at you, Jimmy. You're on the red carpet. You're super fancy. Have you seen anybody big
Having
yet?
a great time.
That's awesome.
Other than myself, no, I have not seen anyone that can really meet what I bring to the table.
Well, you keep the paparazzi at bay. We'll see you in a bit, but first let's get you in the front row to tonight's top stories in 77 seconds at 7.
President Joe Biden is on his way to Brussels tonight to meet with NATO allies. He announced today that he does believe there is a real threat that Russian President Vladimir Putin would use chemical weapons in Ukraine. After the NATO meeting, the president travels to Poland. Day 3 of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Republicans accused her of lenient federal sentencing as a judge, which she strongly denied. If confirmed, she'll be the first black woman to serve on the nation's highest court. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine does work in children under 5, according to the company today. If the FDA agrees, these kids could get their shots this summer. About 18 million U.S. children under 5 are not yet eligible for the vaccine. The first female U.S. Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, has died from cancer at the age of 84. President Bill Clinton chose Albright as America's top diplomat in 1996. And new video tonight of the destruction from a tornado in Louisiana that killed at least one person. This is New Orleans' lower 9th Ward, the same area ravaged by Hurricane Katrina in 2005.
Now to our spotlight story. The 22nd Greater Cleveland Sports Awards is happening right now, honoring the best in Northeast Ohio sports from high school to the pros. Back to the very famous Jim Donovan at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And hey, you'll be presenting an award tonight too.
I am very proud to be presenting the Moment of the Year. That will be the last award that is presented of the evening. So I'm very honored to do that. I'll be with the great John Tellich, who just retired after 4 decades of great work over at Fox 8. Incidentally, kudos to the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission for bringing the event this year. First of all, having it in person. It was virtual last year, but for bringing it here to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, it is really going over very well. Now, the crowd is out in the atrium right now in a meet and greet and a cocktail hour. They'll be making their way into the bowl arena area, and then the presentations will be on a big stage down at the floor level. But I'll tell you what, the crowd has really been in a great mood. It's great to see everybody again. It's been a while, and here we go. So lots of people coming in on this evening. This is always a special night on the calendar in Cleveland. The Greater Cleveland Sports Awards, the 22nd annual year. Bernie Kosar, part of the audience here tonight, and our friend and the great Olympian, Katie Najad from Olmsted Falls, fresh back from Tokyo over the summer and winning that gold medal. And my, how your life changes when they drape that gold medal around your neck.
Yes, I mean, it's been overwhelming and in the best way. I just, seeing the support from the city has been just a dream come true. It's what makes it so much fun, just seeing everybody get behind it and then getting to come to events like this and get to wear the jacket. It's pretty special.
She just came back from Serbia, where she competed in the World Championships, picked up a silver medal there, and so she is on target to continue her greatness in the pole vault. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. I have a great conversation. We go down memory lane with CC Sabathia. Lena, everybody is coming up to me and saying, how is Lena live? Lena live.
Yeah,
Lena live.
Who? Thanks so much.
Have a good night.
Thanks so much, Jimmy. Well, tornado and severe thunderstorm watches have been issued for several Northeast Ohio counties. Matt Wentz joins us now with the latest track. What's new?
Yeah, well, no severe thunderstorm warnings right now, Lena. That's the good news. Weather Service thinking about trimming back the severe thunderstorm watch, which is out for the western half. The show right now is going to be from 71 eastward. We continue to watch this line of potent showers and storms push eastward very quickly. Around 70 miles per hour, these things are moving. Heavy rain moving back into the Cleveland area. We're keeping an eye on these cells back towards the west. Strongest cells heading out of Ashland County into Medina County right now. Could get some strong winds with that. Ditto that down in Holmes County. We're keeping our eye on the wind. We have a lot of twists in the atmosphere, but thankfully these aren't growing tall enough to really support that. Bigger picture, we'll say goodbye to the storms. Hello to cooler air beyond this. We'll have that full forecast and a cooler trend in the 7-day coming up. Lena.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Well, for only the second time since he's held the office, Governor Mike DeWine gave the State of the State address today. Isabel Lawrence has the highlights.
My fellow Ohioans, 2 years ago at this time, we began our battle against an invisible and a deadly enemy.
A lot has happened since Governor Mike DeWine took office in 2019, including a global pandemic. The governor reflecting on investments and changes over the past years, touting Intel's $20 billion investment in the state, lowering taxes and growing high-tech manufacturing, and investing in public safety.
We're doubling down our support for law enforcement by giving them more resources.
DeWine painted a picture of a better future for Ohio, proposing a scholarship and mentorship program for children, an investment program in the Appalachia region, and enhanced resources for mental health.
I see an Ohio where mental illness is treated as a health issue, not as a crime.
DeWine is facing re-election and criticism from within his own party and across the aisle. Democrats critical of the governor's inaction on gun control measures in the wake of the Dayton shooting and violent crime in cities.
We know that gun violence is on the rise in many communities across Ohio, and what we see, the response that we have seen in this state house, only exacerbates that.
Noticeably missing from the governor's address, any mention of the map-making mess that threatens the Ohio primary in May. The governor, a member of the Ohio Redistricting Commission.
Leader Russo, have you gone anywhere where we haven't talked about redistricting?
Nope.
State of the state, we went there and we didn't talk about it. You know, I don't know why, because it's something that should have been on the plate today.
Isabel Lawrence, 3 News.
Well, spring is officially here, so maybe you're thinking about gardening. Bay Branch Farms in Cleveland grows their own seeds for you and for area restaurants to buy. But you'd probably pass right by their farm since it's in the backyard of a husband and wife duo. Doug Tratner takes us there with some gardening guidelines.
We're all thinking about getting our garden started. I'm here at Bay Branch Farm, a surprising farm here in the heart of the city. I'm going to tap my friends into showing us how to start some seeds at home. Annabelle, this is like, it's toasty in here almost. It's 40 degrees outside, but we're balmy in here.
Yeah, this is the magic of the greenhouse.
We know we do our peas in spring. We know we do our radish in spring. How do we know what to start inside and what to start outside?
Well, that's a good question, Doug. This is arugula, and this is an example of something that actually does really well direct seeded in the soil. Spinach, lettuce, kale, chard, those are really good plants that do well early in the season.
What if I just wanted to do a few tomatoes and peppers and things like that? What do I need?
So you could take something like a container of, this is cottage cheese or a yogurt container, and fill this with soil and plant right into this. These are called cow pots, which are made from cow manure and paper. So we like this product a lot because it adds nutrition to the plant. You can go to your garden center and get something like this to grow in, just something flat with some drainage holes on the bottom.
We're in the middle of March right now, and it's getting warmer, then it's getting colder, then it's getting warmer. When should we start our tomatoes and peppers?
We're aiming to sell our plant starts in late May, early June. So we're gonna start those actually in probably 2 weeks.
So Eric, thanks for stepping in for the technical part.
Yeah.
So let's start with the bottom. What do we plant these seeds in?
So you want to pick a nice soil medium
from your garden center or wherever that has, it's peat based.
What's this thing do?
So we also use a system, it's a soil blocking system, and this is the smallest of these. They come in various sizes, and this is what we use to start our tomatoes.
Now, I'm guessing that you're not gonna, the tomato plant is not gonna grow in this small patch of little soil. You're gonna have to transplant these at some point?
Absolutely. We'll move them into a 4 or 5 inch pot. They'll actually be a stronger, healthier plant by transplanting them up.
It's mid to late May, the weather's looking great. My tomato plant is this big.
Yep.
Do I just take it outside and put it in the garden, or is there a process in there too?
So we have a 2-inch plant, or 2-foot plant. We'll plant that a foot into the ground. So just a foot sticking out, and you'll get more roots coming out of the stem.
And for all of us who fail at home, you guys are going to be selling these seedlings here soon.
We will. We have a plant sale. We have an on-site plant sale. You can check on our website for the details of that. And there are lots of other like local growers around the area that have local plant sales too that you can support.
Awesome. Thanks, sir.
Oh yeah.
And that was Doug Tratner. Very inspiring. Coming up, it's a one-on-one with former Indians pitcher CC Sabathia. Jim Donovan catches up with the legend who's receiving an award tonight at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. And a live look inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, where the program will get underway at the bottom of the hour. The crowd moving in after enjoying some cocktails. We'll have all the highlights later on and a full report coming up at 11. And Matt will be back with a full forecast next.
Front Row is sponsored by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
There are so many people in need in Northeast Ohio, and so many inspiring individuals and organizations working tirelessly to help. We think it's time to shed a light on these community champions and the great work they're doing. Starting next month, Matt and I will salute an inspiring individual or organization that is making a difference in the lives of others. The power of inspiration. Coming next month to 3 News, What's New?
Well, as Jimmy showed us earlier, the sports stars are out tonight for the 22nd annual Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. Former Indians pitcher CeCe Sabathia is receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award tonight, and Jimmy caught up with the Indians great to talk baseball.
Well, look who's back in Cleveland. CeCe Sabathia, the Lifetime Achievement Award winner at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. What does it feel like to come back home and to win this award? I think it's really neat. I am a past winner of the award, so I have lived in your shoes, at least for one day in my life, and it's overwhelming, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm excited to be back. I always consider Cleveland home. I kind of grew up there. 4 of my kids were born there. So it's going to be exciting to come back. My mom's coming, my wife's coming. I'm looking forward to it. I did see that you have won the award before. I'm in good company, so that's great.
It was many, many, many moons ago, and I'm down in Winter Haven at the Indians training facility down there, and I'm talking to Mark Shapiro, and he says to me, I'm going to bring out this big kid that we have drafted, and he is going to be the future great ace pitcher in our rotation. Now, it might take a little time, but not too much time, and lo and behold, you as a teenager come walking out of that dingy minor league locker room and we do an interview. Look at how it played out.
I don't think, if I got drafted to a different organization that things would have played out the way they did. For me, especially with all the troubles that I had, with the alcoholism and all of that stuff, going through that, being in that organization and having that strong foundation and people that really care about you. From day one was huge for me, and the Guardians Indians organization was that for me.
A lot of kids that play baseball will grow up still to this day and say, wow, the ultimate would be to become a New York Yankee, to put on pinstripes, and to play in the big ballpark in the Bronx. And you did it. So give us a slice of what it was like.
No, it was great to have that opportunity. I didn't, that wasn't necessarily my dream, though. For me, it would have been staying in Cleveland my whole career. I wasn't, I didn't grow up on the East Coast. I didn't understand, what the pinstripes meant or the history, the gravity of the history of the Yankees. When I first got to spring training, it would be Yogi and Gator and Goose Gossage, Willie Randolph, Reggie Jackson, star power everywhere. And, you kind of understand, the history of this organization and how heavy the pinstripes can be.
Was it a difficult decision for you to be so open about what was going on in your life? And you have been so open about it, and I'm sure it's helped others.
No, it wasn't. It was more, and I think people, give me a lot of credit for being so open now, but it was a selfish decision at the time. I was doing what was best for me and my family, and trying to make sure that I was setting myself up for the future and being able to be a good dad and husband, going forward. I can't sit here and say I made the decision to impact other people's lives.
Yeah.
I made the decision for my life and myself, and me being super transparent about it. Hopefully, it can help somebody.
There's no doubt a Lifetime Achievement Award goes to you, and it is richly deserved. And you bring a lot of smiles on people's faces when they remember going to that ballpark and watching you pitch.
Oh, thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
All right, time now to check in with Matt. Okay, so the good news is that you're saying the severe weather threat has lessened a bit.
Yeah, it's ending from west to east, Lena. It's about at the I-71 corridor now. It'll be pushing east this evening, and I think another 2 hours or so we'll be out of this. It's been fairly unscathed so far. Heavier rain, yeah, beautiful view. Look at that. Heavy rain moving back into Cleveland right now. So as we tilt that cam south, you'll be able to see some of the heavier downpours. Look at this, coming down in buckets now. We've got a firm line of showers and thunderstorms. Pretty good lightning in that Lorain County cell. We always look for little areas of lightning that tend to pop up. It indicates a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and we're seeing that right now in areas of southeastern Lorain County. That will push into Strongsville, eventually over into the Westlake area here shortly. Otherwise, we're dealing with heavy rain. Nothing severe with this. We have rumbles of thunder. We've seen some gusty winds. What we are keeping an eye on as a meteorologist team is for that little spin in the atmosphere. We're watching the wind within these, and so far everything is behaving. But a pretty good wall of water heading into areas of Medina County County, areas of Wayne County as well. Worcester about to get soaked. That extends down to the south. Millersburg, pretty decent dose of heavy rain moving through as well. And again, the wind is behaving within this. There is some twisting ability with the atmosphere, but I think there's too much of it. I think these columns of air are trying to rise and they're just getting sheared apart because there's so much wind in different directions. That's good news. Let's keep it that way. Once this line goes through, severe weather clear. Rest of the evening, we deal with the back edge of the storm system. We are still under tornado watch down to the south. That's where the greatest instability is, out towards the west. I would imagine they're going to cut that back here shortly. Temperature is very spring-like south, still a little bit too cool for any severe weather out in Ashtabula County. Big picture look, though, you notice how the sliver of warm air is coming in. It's colder down in St. Louis now. That colder air is coming in here. You'll see it on your national Zymart hour-by-hour forecast. We lose the storms. We have clouds with maybe some periodic showers or drizzle tomorrow. We will have some sun peaks as well. Temperatures, though, cooler. Those flakes or the raindrops change over to flakes as we get on into Friday night, Saturday, and even Sunday. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Much colder, Lena, this weekend. We're talking 30s Sunday, Monday. That'll help us to appreciate the 40s and 50s once they come back next week.
Oh, that's a good save.
Right. I tried.
That's very optimistic. Thank you very much, Matt. TikTok tanning. Yeah, it's a thing, but is it safe? Find out what doctors and influencers have to say about it next. There is a viral TikTok trend that has some doctors very worried. Some beauty influencers have been touting the use of nasal sprays, which they claim can make you tan. The videos have millions of views, a glowing tan from a simple spray. But the sprays are not regulated by the FDA. They contain a hormone that increases the skin's pigment production, making it darker. But there are side effects.
I started feeling very, very nauseous. I was like, okay, I'm done. Throwing it in the garbage instantly.
Other reported side effects of
Yeah, let's talk about those side effects like changes to moles, skin flushing, and fatigue. Uber will ditch the split fare option next month. The spokesperson says a replacement feature should roll out in the next few months. The change eliminates the ability to split the cost of a ride within the Uber app itself. You can still use Venmo, Cash Apps, or other services to split the cost of the ride with other passengers. Cuteness overload. It is National Puppy Day. We'll showcase a few of our favorites next. Maybe one of yours will be featured. We'll be right back.
The primetime lineup is sponsored by Tower City Center. Tower City Center. Shopping, events, and more at towercitycenter.com.
It is time to celebrate everything about puppies. Yep, it's National Puppy Day, and here are a few of those submitted today on our WKYC page. So far, we've got Angel and Becca, Bentley from Valley City, Boomer, Boo and Myrtle, Izzy from Brecksville, Lucy from Uniontown, and Mac from Chagrin Falls. We want to see more. Head over to our page and show us some of your pictures. Aw, look.
So cute, Lena.
Right?
I like the one in the shopping cart the best.
Yeah.
Going along for
Don't you
errands.
want a puppy now?
I do, but you know, it's too much work with
Three
that.
kids?
3 kids, that's enough. So I think you should start it. Let me know how it goes.
Oh, yeah,
but,
okay.
you know,
Okay.
if those pictures are any indication.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you for watching Front Row and making it Northeast Ohio's #1 7 p.m. newscast.
Hi, everybody. 3 News meteorologist Matt Wentz with a look at your forecast. Severe weather clear here this evening. Everything's pushed off towards the east. We're left with some cooler air. We'll be in the 40s tomorrow morning. Variable clouds. I think we'll see some sun peaks from time to time. It will be cooler, though. We'll get up into the mid-50s during the afternoon. Can't rule out some spotty showers. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies.
Oh, that's fun.
Honestly, the whole reason I went for the title was instead of me calling someone and saying,
"Yep."
And she'll always text me.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm not one. The other weekend I scheduled myself a hair appointment early and I regretted it right away. And I just don't know why I do that to myself. It's because I don't want it to take up my whole day because it takes a long time. My hair appointments usually last like 3 hours. So that's why I only go every 3 months. It just takes a long time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, go in to touch it up. Yeah.
And then for a while I was getting like purple and blue in there.
Oh, fun.
And then I decided not to.
We do. What's that? Oh, yep, we're ready. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of It's All Good News. I'm so happy to have you back here. I'm Stephanie Haney here after a week off, and we've got a lot of stories to make you smile, so we hope you're ready for it. Now, first up this week, we are sending good vibes to our friends at the Parma City School District. They want a big celebrity to come to a party that they're having. Check out their personal invitation, which is a video with the celebrity's iconic phrases from movies and TV shows. I want you to watch it and tell me if you can guess who they're asking to come to the party. That's right, they are talking about DeWine Johnson, aka The Rock. Now, this is the Parma Area Center for Transition Services Program, which is PACS for short. Now, this is a place where people with disabilities learn employment and life skills, and they are having a luau, my friends. That is April 29th, and students from 15 school districts are invited, and so is The Rock. So we all have a job to do. We need to send the good vibes to these people, repost this video, tag The Rock, and tell him to get on out here. We're rooting for you guys. Hopefully we see him here in Northeast Ohio. Now to our Win of the Week segment. Now for me this week, it is the University of North Carolina playing in the Sweet 16 in the NCAA March Madness. Sorry, can we start from the top? Well, hello again, my friends. Welcome back to It's All Good News. I'm Stephanie Haney, and I am thrilled to have you here with me after a little bit of time away. We have got a lot of stories to make you smile, so I hope you got those cheekbones warmed up. Now, first up this week, we are sending good vibes to our friends at the Parma City School District. They want a big celebrity to come to a party that they're having. I want you to check out their personal invitation. This is a video with the celebrity's iconic phrases from movies and TV shows. Listen here and see if you can guess who they're asking to show up. I think you probably have an idea by now. They are talking about DeWine Johnson, aka The Rock. Now, this is the Parma Area Center for Transition Services Program, PACS for short, and it's a place where people with disabilities learn employment and life skills. And they are having a luau, my friends, and that is happening on April 29th, and students from 15 school districts around here are invited, and so is The Rock. So we all have a very important job to do. We need to send the good vibes. We need to repost this video, tag him, and tell him to get on out here. We want to see him in Northeast Ohio. We're rooting for you guys. Here's hoping The Rock shows up. Okay, now to our Win of the Week segment, and for me this week, it is the University of North Carolina Tar Heels playing in the Sweet 16 for the NCAA March Madness tournament on Friday. Now, this is a win for me on multiple levels. I went to Carolina Law, that's where I graduated from law school, and they are playing what happens to be one of my arch nemesises, UCLA. They're playing them on Friday because I also went to the University of Southern California for journalism school. Yes, I have a lot of alma maters. So we are rooting for the Tar Heels. I'm rooting for the Tar Heels. You can root for who you want to, but if you want to be right, you can root for the Tar Heels with me. Okay, now for your Win of the Week. We have to shout out Krista Allison of Berea, who was just named Ms. Wheelchair Ohio 2022. Krista won that title earlier this month, chosen from a group of incredible women from around the state of Ohio. Now, by day, she's a federal government employee with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a master's in management and public administration. And by night, she is a huge advocate for people living with challenges. I got to talk with her about it. Here's what she had to say.
Honestly, the whole reason I went for the title was